Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our lesson for this week's communication topic. We're going to be going over speaking and listening skills. This is like the core essence of how to hold a conversation, okay? And so this is part of our unit on conversational dialogue. Dialogue is a back and forth exchange between a speaker and a listener, and that's what we want. We want you guys holding meaningful, rich conversations with others in order to get to know others around you, to make friends, to maintain friends, and to share your own thoughts and feelings. So what is speaking? So in a conversation, the speaker is the person actively talking. For example, Miss Morris is the speaker right now in this PowerPoint. The speaker is usually responding to a question that has been asked of them, or they're making a comment, sometimes at random, or sometimes it's based on someone else's thoughts or on something that they have overheard. So you don't have to be asked a question in order to speak. You can have a thought pop in your head and share it with others, okay? So if you're speaking, it means you're the one talking. You're actively talking, and others around you should ideally be listening. In a conversation, the listener is the person actively listening and not talking. So if you're watching this presentation, you are the listener. You are listening to me talk about conversational dialogue etiquette. The listeners are quiet so that they can hear what the speaker is saying and so that they can make an informed comment or ask a clarifying question to help them get more information. So the reason why we really want to listen is so that A, you know what's going on in the conversation, and B, you can make an informed response, something that is respectful of what the speaker has been saying to show that you care, you respect them, and that you're following along to the conversation. So to hold a good conversation, and I mean a good one where everyone feels respected and cared for, we need to have a balance. You need to balance being both listener and speaker, okay? So it should be equal amounts listener, equal amounts speaker. What this amounts to in total is you gotta take turns, okay? Taking turns means I say something, you listen, you might say something or ask a question, then I'll talk again. We go back and forth. Taking turns is respectful. It is how you hold a good dialogue, a good conversation. So let's talk about what taking turns looks like. Taking turns is how we maintain the topic in a conversation. All right, and so taking turns, like I said a few minutes ago, involves asking questions such as who, what, where, when, why, how, and making comments to what someone is saying. You won't always ask a question because sometimes our friends might feel like they're being interrogated. So we don't always want to ask questions. We also want to make comments to show that we understand what they're saying. Maybe we have a similar viewpoint or similar experience to what they are going through. And so you might not want to ask a question. You might comment or share your own thoughts and opinions, okay? So these are just examples of how you can maintain a topic in conversation and keep that dialogue going, which is really critical to making and keeping friends. All right, so let's say you are talking with your friend and she says, I went shopping. Here are some examples of follow-up questions that you can ask and comments that you can make in order to facilitate a dialogue, to hold a conversation. All right, so if I'm asking a question, I might say, oh, who did you go shopping with? What did you buy? Can you show me what you bought? Or I can make a comment, oh, that's so cool. I like to shop too. You know, I really like that shirt that you bought, okay? And generally, we want to keep our comments positive. Positive comments just kind of help the conversation go along smoothly. If we say too many negative comments, people probably won't want to talk to us because they might think, oh, that person just makes me feel bad when I talk to them. I don't want that. So let's focus on positive things that we can say, okay? Give them compliments. Oh, I like that shirt you bought. That is so cool. Maintain a nice upbeat tone to your conversation. All right, so that's just an example. Let's look at another one. Okay, so your friend tells you, I got a new phone. And now we're going to brainstorm some comments and questions that we can ask to help guide the conversation along, okay? So they got a new phone. You're listening, so you know that this person got a new phone. Some comments you could make are, whoa, I like your phone. That phone is big. That's awesome. Okay, so in this one, you're probably not going to want to start by making comments because comments are kind of they aren't open-ended. A person can respond to a comment, but comments don't really carry on a conversation on their own. You want to ask a question in this case. All right, so some questions you could ask are, what kind of phone did you get? Show me some cool stuff on your new phone. Why did you get a new phone? Maybe they broke their old one or something happened or they upgraded. So if someone tells you this, it's a declarative sentence. You want to ask a question before you make a comment. A question's going to allow them to elaborate. Maybe they'll tell you, oh, I got a new phone because I broke my old one. Or if you ask them what kind of phone they got, they might say, I got the brand new iPhone 12. In which case, you could ask a question or make a comment like, oh man, I only have an iPhone 8. Or what kind of cool gadgets does the iPhone 12 have? Okay. Notice that the language that I used was positive. All right. Again, we want to maintain a positive tone to really engage the listener and speaker into a dialogue. And then I just ask basic questions. All right. What kind of phone did you get? Where did you get your new phone? How did you get a new phone? Or why? Okay. These are good question stems that you can incorporate into your conversation. All right. Let's look at one more example of things that we could say in response to show that we're listening to the speaker. And then we'll practice some more today for our lesson. All right, your friend is sitting around a bunch of books. His head is in his hands and he says, I have so much to do. We want to ask a question. A question is going to help us have a conversation about it, okay? So if they say, I have so much to do, a great follow-up question to show that you are listening and that you want to talk to them is, what happened? Why do you have so much work? Or what can I help you with? That is a great way to show that you care and to also, spend some quality time with this friend, okay? So what work do you have to do? Can I help you? What class is the work for? Okay, and then they'll make their comments to you. You can choose to ask another question, or you can comment and say, oh man, I have so much work to do as well. I have to do my Google Classroom and my Boom cards. So when someone tells you something, you want to respond with a question. When someone asks you something, like, do you like this shirt? You want to respond with a comment. If you responded to a question with a question, that can kind of confuse the other person. So if someone asks you, do you like this shirt? And you say, do you like this shirt? They'll probably think like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. It's not expected behavior when holding a conversation, okay? So someone says something to you, you want to ask a question. If someone asks something of you, you want to respond with a comment. And from there, you can continue to make comments such as these right here, the positive and neutral. And you can ask questions that begin with the following word stems, all right? I look forward to practicing this skill with you guys in class today, and I will see you during our Zoom meeting. Take care. Bye.